Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Ebel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and join me today for this weight loss update from January 2022 following Dr. McDougall's Maximum Weight Loss and the Starch Solution. So my weight loss update for January is I lost 0 pounds. I'm still weighing in about, bye Ted, about 140, which is what I weighed at the end of December. I was down to my lowest weight at the end of November when I weighed 134. So that's the update for my numbers on the scale, but what I really wanted to talk about in this video is the mental health side of losing weight. And I've talked about this in other videos before. In my experience, in my own life, when I am feeling good about myself and positive about who I am as a person and what I'm trying to achieve for the future, and just in general, approaching every day, living in the present moment, and feeling generally content with my life. When I'm feeling good and content and hopeful, I'm able to lose weight. I'm able to make healthy choices in my life, and generally when I look back at pictures of myself, I can tell if I was feeling happy and good about my life or if I was feeling down and depressed. I can tell by the way I looked because it's just the way my life has gone. The pattern is that when I'm depressed, I usually am very overweight. I can look back at pictures of the most depressing time of my life, and that's when I was the heaviest. And when I look back at the happiest years of my life, that's when I looked the healthiest. So I know this is a pattern for me. That realization has changed the way that I approach my health and weight loss and things like that, because I'm sorry, I just totally lost that train of thought. Penny completely distracted me. But for me, the point is that I need to be taking care of my mental health. I need to be feeling good about myself as a person. If I'm down in a depression, it's basically impossible for me to get physically healthy or feel physically healthy or lose weight. And I've talked about this before, and I went through an episode last summer when I just was really struggling with depression, and it ended up leading to this whole cycle of unhealthy behaviors and unhealthy eating and just feeling down on myself, and so not moving my body and not doing the things, not doing my healthy habits that I know make me feel good mentally and physically. I really struggle with perfectionism in my life. That's something I'm continuously trying to work on, is that I feel like I go through these cycles, and it can apply to dieting, work, relationships. It can kind of apply to any area of my life where I want to be perfect and I just go 100%, and I'm just like trying so hard to be whatever this perfect person I have, this idea of who I'm trying to be. And when I feel like I'm failing at being that person, I go the other way and I just like kind of give up, or I just start feeling really bad about myself. I start beating myself up for not being perfect. I start just over analyzing every single mistake I've made. And now that I recognize I do this, I feel like I'm a little bit better about it. I'm a little bit better at not beating myself up so much, not trying to be so perfect, but it's still something I struggle with. All of those decades I spent dieting is the perfect example of like binging on a Sunday night, like being in the drive-thru, like diet starts tomorrow, will be perfect on starting Monday. Binging on that Sunday night, Monday morning rolls around, gonna be perfect, and generally by the time Monday night or Tuesday night rolled around, I was back off the diet. I was like, whatever, I just, I quit, I give up. When you eat that one bad thing, and so it just kind of spirals. And I'm not like that when it comes to dieting so much anymore. I absolutely fall victim to the vegan junk food. It just happened around Christmas time and the holidays, and I talked about that in my December weight loss video, but that didn't really happen in January. I only had 2 meals out of the house that I would kind of consider, you know, vegan junk food, and that was when I was out visiting my sister. So I am not beating myself up for that at all. I went out to dinner for my sister's birthday. Like, it's okay. I don't believe it was because of my food intake at all that I didn't lose weight in January. I really think it's because of how I was feeling mentally and struggling with seasonal depression, struggling to get motivated to move my body. And seasonal depression is something that I really came to understand in 2018. When May of 2018 rolled around, the change that I felt in my body that spring, the change in my attitude and my mindset and my motivation, just like everything. It was May of 2018 when I was like, holy crap, I have really severe seasonal depression. I can't believe the way I felt a month ago compared to the way I feel daily now, and just because of the change in the weather and the amount of sunshine I'm getting. And that was when I decided, like, I need to get out of Michigan. I need to start thinking about, you know, moving. That was 2018. I was 35. It had never in my life occurred to me that I would leave Michigan. I was just always like, I want to be here with my family, very close to my 5 siblings. But then by 2018, a couple of my siblings had moved away. Everybody's, you know, grown up. So that was when I kind of figured it out, was May of 2018. So I know I have seasonal depression, and every winter I say I'm going to do these things to try to cope with it better, or, you know, kind of prevent it from being so severe. And it seems like no matter what I do, no matter how aware I am of like what's to come with the winter, it just still hits me like a ton of bricks. And I feel like it's always the first or second week of January. I can even go back in my journal like the last 3 years and like read about that. I think that's when it hits a lot of people, because I know for me, I start to feel kind of down in December sometimes, but it's everything to do with the holidays, kind of keeps you revved up, and like you don't get all that kind of alone time you get in January that for me is, yeah. For me, it's also that like reflecting time in January where, you know, I kind of, did I accomplish everything I wanted to last year? And then, you know, start feeling kind of bad about myself, like I had a whole year. Why couldn't I get that done? I know that we live in this hustle culture that always keeps us like revved up and like thinking we should be doing more and accomplishing more, and I try to not let myself get sucked into that mindset that I'm not good enough and I'm not doing enough and that I don't deserve rest unless I have X amount of productivity. I really try to resist that, but it's really hard. It's something that's really drilled into my brain somehow, of just working hard and getting things done. And when I don't meet my goals, I do feel bad about myself. So the point I'm trying to make through all this rambling is that I've made the connection in my own life in regards to how my mental health is, and then how I am feeling physically, how motivated I am to take care of myself. And I see just how this all connects, you know, to make me a human being. But I think sometimes we put so much focus on ourselves and our physical being and losing weight and all these things that we kind of lose focus of taking care of our mental health. I know in the past that I have prioritized weight loss over my mental health, and I just end up feeling unwell mentally. I end up getting sucked into the diet culture and the calorie counting and all that stuff, when really if I was taking care of my mental well-being it's so much easier to want to take care of yourself physically. For example, when I was feeling really crappy in January, I gave myself time to read every morning, every afternoon, and every evening because I love to read. It makes me feel good to either learn something new or to just get like lost in a story and like as a form of entertainment, you know, rather than watching TV. When I look at my Kindle app statistics, I could see that I read every single day of January on my Kindle app. And I know that's part of what's helped me feel better now come February. I really struggled the first couple weeks of January to get myself onto my yoga mat, to move my body, to even just like simply take the time to sit down and meditate. I was in just such like a down place. It was hard to even just sit on my meditation cushion. I reject that. It's like, I can't exactly explain what makes me reject my good, positive, healthy habits that I know make me feel better, but I'm sure you understand. I'm sure you have things in your own life that you know would make you feel better if you did them consistently, but we're humans. So when I went to visit my sister in Vegas, I made it a priority to get on the yoga mat every single day while I was there. And when I came home, I just continued that habit, and I'm back into my healthy meditation and yoga habit every day, and it just makes such a difference to me. It is truly what I believe helps ground me and make me feel, you know, mentally healthy. So I almost talked myself out of filming this video because I'm like, I didn't lose any weight in January. What's there to say? But then I just started thinking about the mental health struggle that I had last month, and I started thinking about some of the comments that I've gotten on some videos recently that just made me realize that I don't think people have seen any of my videos talking about the mental health side of weight loss and how I'm not a person who's just obsessed with weight loss, and that's not what I'm sharing here on my YouTube channel. I'm sharing my life's journey of starting dieting when I was like 6 years old. At 6 years old, becoming aware that my body was bigger than the other kids and that I wanted it to be different. I have a whole video series called I'm Done Dieting where I talk about all of these struggles, and it's just now over these last few years that I'm really making all these connections between my mental health and my dieting history and how I feel about myself and my self-esteem. And I've said it in quite a few other videos that, you know, anybody can do these kind of caloric calculations to figure out how many calories your body burns a day and how many you need to eat to survive, to lose weight. You know, we can kind of all do the math and figure out how many calories to consume, and then we can obsessively count calories every day and we can lose weight. I mean, you know, anybody can do that, but actually addressing the mental health concerns that are giving you, you know, issues with food in the first place. You know, like I'm just talking about January. I didn't eat so bad in January that I shouldn't have lost any weight. I really think it was the mental health struggle of January that I went through and the unmotivation or lack of motivation I had to take care of myself. So I know the connection is there for me. I assume it is for a lot of other people too. So when I get comments on my videos about like, you didn't lose weight because there's too much sugar and ketchup and you use too much sriracha, it's just like, that's over there on that 100% perfect, you know, mental state that I was talking about earlier. Like, I don't live there. I really try not to live there and trying to be 100% perfect. I've never come on my YouTube channel and said like, I am 100% perfect, whole food, plant-based person, do what I do. I've never said that. I've always said, I'm sharing my struggles and my story and, you know, what I'm finding success with. You know, and then when I get criticized over using like the tiniest amount of processed food, I mean, it's hard not to let that perfectionism come back to me and be like, oh, I can't post this or post that because it's not perfect. And there's things I haven't shared, you know, for that fear of criticism. It's like, if I'm going to get criticized for ketchup and sriracha, like, letting go of perfectionism is a big struggle. Part of it is letting go of my own perfectionism about myself. And then another part of it is letting go of any criticism of others for not being perfect. Like, I just can't imagine going to somebody else's YouTube who's, you know, a plant-based person and just criticizing them for using a processed ingredient. Like, go criticize people who are still eating meat and dairy or promoting the keto diet, you know? We're all trying to do the best that we can to be plant-based people and save the planet, so why can't we support each other and not expect each other to be perfect? This perfectionism thing, again, is something I've only really realized in the last few years, but it's made me realize, like, looking back, about how hard I was on myself in different areas of my life, or specifically when it comes to dieting and physical appearance, but also really related to jobs in different work environments I was in, where I had this perfectionist attitude that was really detrimental. I also personally really struggle with procrastination as a form of perfectionism, and not wanting to do something until it can be perfect. Not wanting to do something until I felt perfect or thought I looked good. I won't even go with perfect there. I have been rambling for quite a while. I better wrap this video up, but I just wanted this to be a reminder that we need to take care of our mental health. It's not just all about weight loss. So my mental health is feeling much better. I mean, I've still got my super depressing, dreary, gray days here, but I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's February now, spring is on the horizon, and I'm also taking those steps to take care of myself, to read, to rest, to get on my yoga mat, to meditate, and I'm feeling a lot better about my mental health and just better in general. Got out of that January slump. January just is not my jam. I just feel like it's always like a bummer of a month. But anyway, feeling good, feeling hopeful for February, and feeling back on track with just a lot of life stuff. So I think that'll wrap up this video. I hope that you are taking care of yourself this winter as well. Don't forget to hydrate, meditate, all that good stuff. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Be well. Teddy, you're so cute. You have some water on your chin, Ted. You have a drop of water on your chin. Okay. Ted, be in the video. Ted. Where's my boy? Are you giving yourself a bath back there? You're the cutest. You're the cutest. If I got you a yoga mat, would you lay down right there? Penny. What's the last thing I said? Penny totally distracted me. You cutie pie. You're so cute. What is the last thing I said? Penny? Is that a bug? What did you find? Ew! Ew! That was a bug. That was so gross. Where'd she go? Okay.